CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
It's all about fairness. It's all about level playing field. It's all about supporting Canadian workers and Canadian businesses.
Canada taking a tough position today, firing back at U.S. President Donald Trump. The tariff turmoil continues, with the Prime Minister reacting to the 50% tariffs with dollar-for-dollar counter tariffs effective September 8th. It will apply to more than 700 U.S. imports worth $27.6 billion. Things like smartphones, kitchen appliances, and even makeup. CTV's senior political correspondent Michael Couture breaks down the retaliatory approach.
The LaPlante family has been in the metal roofing business for 3 generations. In that time, they've weathered a lot of storms, but this trade war feels different.
We've been focusing and trying to grow our sales in the U.S. for the last 50 years, and now to see that disappear is quite a shock.
It's why he and his son are welcoming the $7.5 billion support package from the federal government, including extra money for employment insurance.
We're going to stand up for you.
The federal government also released the nearly 700 products it's targeting in their dollar-for-dollar tariff package on American goods starting September 8th. Tariffs on U.S. steel and aluminum will go from 25% to 50%. Other goods seeing levies at that rate include perfumes and makeup and honey, among other things. Seafood products, cheese, and large kitchen appliances will be hit with 25% tariffs.
We're also targeting products that will target states in the U.S. And so we're being wise and strategic to put political pressure.
There will also be economic pressures on Canadians, and government officials couldn't put a number on how these measures will impact the economy on this side of the border.
We will publish our estimate when we come to the budget 2026. But for the time being, I would say with the measures we're putting forward, this is really about supporting Canada, supporting worker communities and businesses.
Now, to help businesses even more, Philippe Laplante would like the government to go one step further.
Our Canadian government needs to be pushing that the hospitals, army bases, whether it's a school being built across Canada, is using Canadian steel by Canadian manufacturers here in Canada.
The government is also expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. Billions of dollars will be made available to fund shovel-ready projects for Canadian businesses. And the Canadian Chamber of Commerce says this help needs to be in place urgently. Michael Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
As the counter tariffs roll in, it will be small businesses that feel the pinch. Local experts weighing in on those measures today. For that, let's go to CTV's Luke Simard. He joins us live tonight to break down what that means here at home. Luke.
Well, Sarah, Canada strikes back with measures of their own. And for those that need it most, the damage will be done for businesses to recover. Canada will now stand toe-to-toe with the United States, dollar for dollar, with those retaliatory tariffs.
Canada's counter tariffs are designed primarily to provide protection for Canadian industry impacted by U.S. tariffs and allow them to compete against U.S. products in the Canadian market. It's all about fairness. It's all about level playing field. It's all about supporting Canadian workers and Canadian businesses.
The federal government also announcing grants that businesses can apply to help small businesses.
Counter tariffs are only one part of our response. We must also provide businesses with liquidity and, most importantly, keep Canadians working.
The counter tariffs taking aim at American businesses President Trump focused on this weekend.
Affected industries are steel, dairy, agricultural, appliances, pulp and paper as well.
With the trade war lingering into the fall, experts say businesses are being forced to find new partners.
Potentially looking into some new markets, maybe in the EU, maybe in China, as Carney has been on record saying. But in the interim, it is very intense. Businesses need to be super organized. There's a lot of concern about keeping the lights on right now, and I feel it. I see it on a personal level.
The tariffs, something not felt overnight, but long-term could cause severe damage to your wallet.
We're going to see higher charges, higher costs at the register. There's a good chance that groceries are going to go up even more than they already have. The industries that are affected are vast. Even the cost of homes down the road can increase because of this. That's a long-term projection, but it's inevitable if these stay in effect.
Hammering the point home when it comes to urging businesses to get compliant with the new tariffs.
Be proactive, be organized, make sure your paperwork is clean. We will be getting more information as time goes on those relief programs, but do everything that you can ahead of it.
With tariff uncertainty, CTV News did reach out to two of the largest manufacturing employers in our region, Napoleon and Honda Canada Manufacturing, both confirming that they are not affected by these new tariffs and operations are continuing as normal for now. Sarah?
All right, that's our Luke Samard reporting live tonight. Thank you, Luke. And just a day after trading insults across the border with the U.S. president, the premier was back at Queen's Park today. Doug Ford was speaking to Americans on network television in a series of interviews, making the case for Canada amid the escalating trade war. CTV's Queen's Park bureau chief, Siobhan Morris, has that story.
A day after an invitation from the premier to the U.S. president.
I have a lot of real estate on my ass, so he has a lot of room to kiss my ass.
And a news conference littered with insults.
I don't respond to a dictator like President Trump, the king of bankruptcies. This guy's a loser. I have more courage, more brains in my baby toe than he has in his whole body. Not at all.
Today, Premier Doug Ford quieter in the halls of Queen's Park, making the case against tariffs on American TV.
We're the number one customer to 17 states, number 2 to 12 others. I'd rather make a great deal and support the American people, support the Canadians.
The shift in tone after Donald Trump targeted the province, musing online about renaming Lake Ontario to Lake of America and about pulling back on doing business with Ontario.
Why have you all of a sudden sort of chilled out here?
Well, you know something, he can throw them as much as I can. It's just not worth fighting back and forth and all the rhetoric.
On this, opposition parties agree with the premier.
This is not WWE SmackDown. That's not going to feed families. That's not going to protect jobs.
The NDP leader says the goal shouldn't be to land the best insult.
This is about actually doing what we can do here in the province of Ontario.
Like making sure governments are really prioritizing Ontario products and services and reviewing existing contracts.
WSIB jobs going to Iron Mountain in the United States. ODSP jobs being privatized with an American firm.
The premier has rejected calls from the opposition to bring the legislature back early. The return set for late October. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Music lovers around the world are processing the news that Dolly Parton has died. The legendary musician and philanthropist rose to stardom as a singer-performer, but will be remembered for so much more. Her songwriting, her acting, her larger-than-life career, and personality. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin shares Dolly's story.
With her outsized personality and hairdo, Dolly Parton lived her life in rhinestones. Just because I'm blonde, don't think I'm dumb. But down-to-earth empathy shone through in the music she brought to millions worldwide.
I don't think about my life in terms of superstar. I'm just working girl. I always say, and it's the truth, that I am a workhorse that looks like a show horse.
Just days ago, she shared a health update with fans, saying she was dealing with issues and that even though she was healing, she was still working. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Dolly Parton often said, as she did in song, that she was a country girl's version of glamour. She rose from poverty, the fourth of 12 children, her mother making clothes from rags, to riches, attaining glittering country music stardom and crossing genres. With her soprano voice, she delivered 25 #1 country hits, many of them she had written herself. She was one of the first women stars to write much of her own material. In the 1970s, her star rose. She delivered movies like 9 to 5, TV shows, and more hits. She was a country star inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and in later years focused on her charity work. Her husband, Carl Dean, died 17 months ago, a heartbreaking loss to Parton, who described their relationship as a great love story. Dolly Parton's nephew announced her death, as was her wish.
She wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest.
Parton once said she hoped people would see her brains beneath her hair, her heart beneath her chest. But many also say it was her humanity that touched so many, and that her legacy is far more than her music. She was 80 years old. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
What a legacy. I had no idea Dolly was one of 12 children.
And the nice thing about this is obviously she kept reinventing herself, and she was on Hannah Montana, so a whole new generation got to see her. And yeah, my kids all enjoyed Dolly Parton on Hannah Montana, and yeah, quite a legacy stretching, well, I guess it was almost 65 years on the stage and recording. So incredible work, absolutely incredible. Incredible, is that a word to describe the weather? Well, it is today when you consider what we had yesterday. Sun shining, temperatures slowly rising, ever so slowly, I might add. Let's take a look. First look at the forecast brought to you by the GravelDrivewayGuide.com, your local gravel driveway expert. 20 degrees out here, Sarah. That's okay. The winds are light out of the northwest, 11 kilometers an hour. Yeah, it's a little on the cool side. Cooler still, let's have a look. Well, 20 degrees, lots of 20-degree marks. 20 degrees in Newmarket, 20 degrees in Mount Forest, Ontario, 20 in Parry Sound. It looks like Toronto being the hot spot, 23 degrees and 22 in Owen Sound. This is a look at the radar satellite images over the last little while. And yeah, there's a few clouds. There's a few clouds this evening. The temperatures are slowly rising and coming up in just a few minutes' time, Sarah. I know yesterday I was bantering about the idea of getting closer and closer to 30 degrees again, and I think we see it in the forecast, Sarah. I'll let you know when and where. All that in a few minutes' time back inside.
Very much looking forward to it. Thanks, Case. Well, it was quite a scene along Barrie's waterfront after a vehicle flipped this afternoon. This is a look at Lakeshore Drive near Victoria Street just after 2 o'clock. Paramedics confirming the 80-year-old driver was brought to hospital, but with non-life-threatening injuries. Lakeshore Drive was closed as crews cleared the road. Police tonight are asking for the public's help after a woman was hit and killed by a driver in Newmarket late last night. It happened in the area of Davis and Parkside Drives just before 11 p.m. York Regional Police say the woman died at the scene. The driver of the vehicle, a 22-year-old, has been charged with dangerous operation causing death. Anyone with video is asked to contact police. And authorities have arrested a man wanted in that series of break-and-enters. This was in the Newmarket area. Back in August, York Regional Police started looking into more than a dozen commercial break-ins that would happen in the early morning hours. It ended up being 14 in total, and the suspect would steal safes and cash registers. Well, after searching his home, a 46-year-old from Newmarket is now facing several charges, including disguise with intent, break-and-enter, and breach of probation. Authorities are sharing a photograph because they believe there could be more victims. You can take a look at that on the CTV Barrie webpage. Orillia, the city of Orillia, has broken up another encampment within the city limits. This is the third in the last month. The latest set up near the Lighthouse, which is a homelessness support provider. Let's go to CTV's Jack Morris. He's been looking into this for us and joins us live tonight. Jack, what do we know?
Well, Sarah, this latest encampment, we know that yesterday got notices that the people living there would have to pack up and leave by today at 9 o'clock. 4 people living there had only been set up for a few days when bylaw officers handed out this letter. The city says that when those bylaw officers showed up this morning to enforce the notice, staff from the Lighthouse were already helping people at the site collect their belongings, offering things like food, water, hygiene supplies, as well as addiction services and medical care. Some were taken into the Lighthouse's day program, but due to a lack of spaces, none of them will be in the shelter tonight.
We offer shelter beds when we have them available. Today we were able to add, people to our triage list and offer our daytime services. But where people go from here, we don't necessarily know. They will have to find another location, unfortunately.
And for many of them, that means finding a new place for their tent tonight. Now, the Lighthouse says that Orillia needs to build more and different kinds of housing in order to help all the people who are right now living on the street. Sarah?
That is CTV's Jack Morris. Thanks for that, Jack. And as we inch closer to October's municipal election, we now have a list of the names of the people running in our region, but who exactly are they? CTV's Rob Cooper takes a closer look.
As Simcoe County's largest city, there's a lot of pressure on whoever wins the seat for mayor in Barrie in the upcoming municipal election. A population boom coupled with social and economic issues, the next few years are crucial for the city's future, and residents are hoping for a better voter turnout come October.
To have a say in your local government, what's happening locally, because there's a lot of issues currently in Barrie.
In all, 4 people have entered the race for mayor in the city. Alex Nuttall is seeking re-election and his second term. He says he welcomes the competition and says more options for the voter is a good thing for everyone.
It's a major part of our lives that is determined on the municipal level. Democracy is a key part of everything that makes our country so beautiful, and certainly the opportunity for us to be able to talk about the different issues and opportunities that exist for the city of Barrie and for our people going forward.
Tanya Seri is in her first mayoral election campaign. She says she brings experience in finance, business, housing, and community leadership.
So priorities are transparency and responsible spending is a big one. I hear an awful lot at talking to residents in Barrie about property taxes and affordability and just how stretched they are in their everyday lives now. So I'm primarily hearing affordability, and primarily we're talking about homelessness.
Kay Sayer, a new resident of the city, declined going on camera, but tells CTV News in an email that she wants to see greater accountability from the province, including receipts for all expenditures. She wants to see less offloading onto municipalities and greater free speech, saying in part, running for mayor isn't about me, it's about calling out Premier Doug Ford. This is about a massive problem in all of Canada for decades, says Sayer. The fourth candidate is Russell J. Tye.
The biggest concern I'm thinking right now, and it goes hand in hand with the encampment emergency as number one. Number two, biggest challenge is our low-income housing list. Then the third one is just I want to make sure that our food stability, our food banks are fed. Everybody in this world doesn't have to choose between their shelter and their food.
So the race for mayor in Barrie involves 4. As for the 10 city councillor positions available, there are 35 names on the ballot, and of course, election day is October 26th. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
2 suspects have been arrested in a new Tecumseth robbery that dates back to last year. At 4 p.m. on May 28th of 2025, Nottawasaga OPP was called to a break-in at a home on Anderson Road. Police say the suspects fled towards BD Avenue before officers arrived. Then last week, on August 19th, multiple police units raided homes in Brampton and Caledon and arrested 2 people. A 24-year-old from Caledon faces 5 robbery and weapons-related charges. A 23-year-old from Brampton is charged with a conspiracy to commit an indictable offense. A young person has been arrested after a stabbing in Innisfil. South Simcoe police were called to 20th Side Road and Benson Street late Sunday night after a group of young people reported that their friend had been stabbed in a fight. They were sent to hospital in stable condition. Another young person came forward as a suspect. They face charges of aggravated assault, possessing a weapon for a dangerous purpose, and failing to comply with an undertaking. Multiple Barrie men have been arrested after police say a patrolling officer recognized one of them as a prohibited driver behind the wheel. They were seen Saturday afternoon near Bradford and Tiffin Street and pulled over along Essa Road just north of Burton. Police say the officers then noticed a white powdery substance in the center cup holder. The occupants were asked to exit the vehicle and placed under arrest. Police say they then found a bunch of identity documents belonging to other people, and they learned that the vehicle had been stolen. 2 prohibited knives and a break-in instrument was found. A 46-year-old faces 5 counts, including theft and possessing an identity document. A 42-year-old man was initially charged with a total of 12 weapons and theft-related counts. Through further investigation, police say they learned that same 42-year-old Barrie man was involved in a vehicle theft from last Thursday on Quinlan Road. Police confirmed that stolen vehicle was recovered this morning, but this person, a second suspect, is still outstanding. Now an update to the case of an Innisfil truck driver that border guards say was smuggling millions in drugs across the border. He's back on trial this month, accused on separate charges of assaulting a woman who later recanted her statements to police that were recorded on body cameras. A warning that viewer discretion is advised. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports.
Accused of smuggling $2.3 million in cocaine across the border last year, transport truck driver Pawandeep Dillon had his assault charges resolved in Bradford. Dillon agreeing to a peace bond for 2 years, promising not to communicate with or be anywhere near the complainants.
Did he, physically touch you? Yeah, he slapped me, pulled my hair.
Including a woman who told police in October of 2024 that Dillon pulled her hair, punched, and slapped her inside her home.
Where did he hit you? On my face. He pulled my
Show me exactly
here. He slapped me and he punched me in my back.
The Crown told the court during Dillon's assault trial that the complainant, who was deemed a hostile witness, had changed her story and testified Dillon never hit her, despite telling police on body-worn cameras what prompted her to call 911, fearing for her safety.
He came home last night at 2. I don't know what he's on right now.
The woman whose identity we have obscured could be heard telling South Simcoe police officers that Dillon was abusive while high on drugs, including cocaine, and that he brought tens of thousands of dollars in cash into her home. She told police she believed Dillon was doing something illegal.
There was a lot of cash and money.
Despite being shown the video in court, the woman testified under oath she was mistaken and that Dillon did not assault her. The Crown told the court it then had to reassess a reasonable prospect of conviction and whether the case was still in the public interest.
You want a burger?
On the witness stand, the woman accused police and the Crown of putting words in her mouth and being racist, recanting her statements that Dillon had assaulted her. Months later, the 35-year-old from Innisfil was arrested at the Sarnia border, where Canadian Border Services agents said Dillon's transport truck was found with 86 kilograms of cocaine in 4 black duffel bags at the Blue Water Bridge. During his arrest in February, the RCMP charged Dillon with importing a controlled substance and possession of a controlled substance for the purpose of trafficking. The complainant told police 2 years ago that Dillon had previously broken her nose, and she told investigators he said he paid gang members not to shoot her and a member of her family. Dillon is scheduled to make his next appearance in a Sarnia courtroom in September, when its expected trial dates will be set. The allegations against him have not been tested at court. Mike Arcelides, CTV News, Barrie.
Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre says it's experiencing very high patient volumes today. The hospital issued a notice on social media advising that wait times could be longer than usual as staff prioritize the most urgent and life-threatening cases first. For non-emergencies, RVH has faster care through other providers such as walk-in clinics, pharmacies, or primary care providers. Your doctor might be more appropriate. Arrival times can also be booked through the hospital's minor ailment patient pathway for minor illnesses or injuries. Finally, the province announcing today a $4.8 million investment for skilled trades training here in Simcoe County. The funds coming from the 6th round of the Skills Development Fund training stream. The Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development says it will fund 3 projects, which will help nearly 400 underrepresented job seekers access training for in-demand careers in the region. The projects will include skills training, mentorship, and employment supports. The province emphasized that it's a step to keep the local workforce competitive and resilient in the face of U.S. tariffs. Coming up next here on CTV, 33 years of community support. This free barbecue, it's very popular, and it returned to mark more than 3 decades of supporting the most vulnerable. Plus, something special is on display in Creemore, but you've only got a few more days to take it all in. We'll let you know where the works of these 2 local artists will be on display. Stay with us. Those stories and more after the break. Every summer, our community comes together where rhythm resonates throughout the city and creativity fills the air. Local musicians share their stories in song, and thousands gather for free in the heart of the city. Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors, the Troubadour Festival, where arts, culture, and our community come alive in downtown. Thanks for staying with us. It's become an annual tradition in downtown Barrie, the Busby Center Celebration Barbecue.
Being homeless, it's not, we don't have pure access to things like this. So, I mean, it puts food in our bellies, it makes us feel good, and it makes us feel like a person, you know?
The free community cookout is to mark 33 years of the Busby Center and the people who work to make the community stronger and to get a hot meal to those who need it.
We are so proud and so honored to donate $5,000 to the Busby Center today on behalf of Coke Canada.
It's really important to be able to integrate everyone together, board members, community members, supporters, donors. We have everybody here, especially the people that need this service the most. That's really what this is for.
The 2-hour free barbecue was sponsored by, you just saw it, Coca-Cola Canada and a handful of other local businesses. Lagom is a Swedish word that translates to mean not too little and not too much, and a current exhibit at Gallery Lagom in Creemore features two artists with similarities that are not too little and not too much.
They complement each other in their quietness and their busyness, and their color palette is beautiful together.
Curator Liz Eakins describes the works of Canadian landscape artists Jane Fleetwood Morrow of Collingwood and Kyle Sorensen of Parry Sound. While they both work with landscapes and acrylic paint, learning and appreciating their differences is what makes this show, shall we say, Lagom.
Jane's work is a minimalist landscape with minimal color in it, and Kyle's work is more of a fractured landscape with more color and nuance. I would say both their work are very calming and very zen.
Conversations in Color, it's called, and it runs until August 30th rather, at Gallery Lagom in the town of Creemore. It was an opportunity to meet the people behind the badge in South Simcoe last night.
We got a couple more freezes left. Who wants one?
Cadet Rodman has been wonderful. He came over, introduced himself, was very approachable, and yeah, it's absolutely meaningful to help the kids bridge that gap and feel comfortable around the police.
That's a look at the special teen night at Morgan Russell Memorial Arena and Community Center in Lefroy. A cool treat and a chance to talk to the officers who patrol the community every day.
Having a wonderful time.
So the whole importance of teen nights is just to build community relationships with the service and the community. Just make ourselves more approachable to the youth of our community.
Teen nights are free and held 3 times a week at various spots across Innisfil. Still to come here on CTV, another hockey trophy was in Georgina today, just weeks after Lord Stanley's visit. More on that, but right now, let's head outside. Cases in Bob's Garden.
Sarah, best way to describe yesterday's weather? Sad, right? It gets much happier. The forecast is coming up next, and our weather watcher artiste will have a look. Amelia says, oh, bunnies under the tree, turkeys in the tree. Sounds good to me. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hey, it's Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Sam Roberts at the Kitabawa.
So make sure you're listening weekdays from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by the town of Wasaga Beach Memories of Summer, running September 3rd to 5th.
Celebrating summer all week long here on CTV Barrie. Whatever your favorite memory was from the past couple of months, please either dig it up or snap it and send it to us. Picture this at ctv.ca. One of my favorite memories, or perhaps sounds, Case, is when you have that rubber chicken. The rubber chicken. I knew it. You go ahead. Take it away.
It's the sound of summer. A bit of a summer letdown, maybe. Maybe a sad summer day, maybe. But some of us like the rain too. And it is certainly nicer to see the sunshine today as temperatures slowly start to return to where they were. Let's talk about the forecast. And here we go, getting right into it. Wow, look at the temperature in Collingwood. 19 degrees right now, 23 in Toronto, 20 degrees in Mount Forest, Alliston. Looks like Newmarket, as well as the Sunshine City, Barrie and Parry Sound. Oh, and also our friends, of course, the Wild Things and parts unknown, one might say. This is a look at the almanac for today. 20 and 15, that's the high, that's the low. A record 32.2 degrees back in 1900 and 5 degrees way back in 1884. Sunrise, sunset, 13 hours, 30 minutes of daylight. Here comes your forecast radar. Is there a few clouds in the sky this evening? There is a few clouds, and a few more for tomorrow. Yes, there is a few more for tomorrow, and a little something possible tomorrow night. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's talk about southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe overnight. 10 and 12 degrees, a few clouds, low-lying fog. However, you could see clearer skies right around the Collingwood-Wasaga Beach area this evening, which is kind of interesting. 26 degrees for tomorrow, feeling 31 with the humidex. A sun and cloud mix. More cloud cover, though, in the Penetanguishene Midland area than just about anywhere else in this particular area. How about 11 and 13 degrees in Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill overnight. Low-lying fog, a few clouds. And 26 for tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. Nice, and feeling like 31 degrees when you factor in the humidex. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Haliburton. 9, 10, 11 degrees, a few clouds this evening, yes, and some low-lying fog throughout our region. 26 tomorrow, 24 in Haliburton, mainly cloudy just about everywhere, except in Haliburton where it's mainly sunny skies. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. And does the heat want to stick around? Well, Thursday, cloudy skies, 40% chance of shower activity. We're cooling off again, ladies and gentlemen, but here comes the sunshine. Friday and Saturday, 20 and 23 degrees. Come on in. And Sunday arrives, cloudy and 30% chance of a shower, 22 for the high. York Region, 5-day extended forecast. Thursday has a 40% chance of shower activity under cloudy conditions, 24 degrees. Friday and Saturday, sunny, 22, 25. Sunday, sun and cloud mix and a high of 23 degrees. Muskoka, Parry Sound, Haliburton. Thursday, 40% chance of shower activity right throughout our region. 21 is the high. Friday, Saturday, everybody gets sunshine. 20, 23 degrees for us to enjoy. Sunday, it looks like cloudy skies and a 30% chance of showers. That is your forecast. But before we return to the newsroom, let's have a good long look at this country music contest.
CTV Barrie and Pure Country 106 want to send you to the biggest country shows of the year. This is your chance to win the ultimate big country ticket. A pair of tickets to 8 amazing concerts at Casino Rama Resort, including Dustin Lynch, Jordan Davis, Josh Ross, Lee Brice, and more could be yours. Don't miss your shot at this incredible country music experience. Enter on our contest page at ctvbarrie.ca for your chance to win. Must be 19 years of age or older.
Just weeks after Sean Walker brought the Stanley Cup to Georgina, it was the PWHL Trophy's turn to make a stop along the south shores of Lake Simcoe today. That's because the Georgina area is also home to Erin Ambrose, who won the Walter Cup with the Montreal Victoire this past spring. She delivered remarks along with Mayor Margaret Quirk before taking pictures with fans. Ambrose started playing hockey at age 5 after being inspired by the Canadian women's hockey team winning gold in the 2002 Olympics. Now 32, she has a gold and silver medal with Canada at the Olympic level. There you go, women inspiring women. Still to come, there's a new fundraiser in town. We'll let you know which 4th-generation family-owned Simcoe County business is giving back with a day on the course. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Country 106. Central Ontario's home for the best country music. After all the bars are closed. Listen to Pure Country 106 on the free iHeartRadio.
Recapping our top stories, Canada announcing 50% counter tariffs effective on September 8th, applying to more than 700 U.S. imports worth $27.6 billion. The federal ministers who made the announcement said there will be a $7.8 billion package of measures to protect Canadian workers and business. The city of Orillia has broken up another encampment. People living at a site near the lighthouse got official notices that they had to pack up and leave by this morning. The lighthouse has been lending a helping hand, but won't be able to take everyone in. They don't have enough space. And an Innisfail truck driver accused of smuggling millions in drugs across the border was on trial for separate allegations, this time for assault. He's scheduled to be back in court in September when expected trial dates will be set. Well, to celebrate 70 years is an incredible accomplishment, and one of our longtime local businesses is marking the occasion with a day filled with philanthropy, surrounded by the community, and what better place to do that than on the links. Joining me now from Plaza Auto Group is Robert Stein, President. Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Great to have you. You won my heart at golf tournament.
Love golf tournaments, and when you can do a golf tournament and raise money for some amazing charities, it's even better.
Let's first talk about the business. You're celebrating 70 years, fourth generation. What's that like to still be flourishing in a time when it's really difficult for a lot of local businesses?
So proud. It's unbelievable. It's something you just can't imagine. My sons are the fourth generation. I was third generation. We've been in business since 1956. We've survived and seen a lot of ups and downs in this industry. And we're going through some ups and downs right now too. So, but it's just been incredible. And having my three boys in the business is a dream come true.
Yeah, well, and who started in 56? Who did you learn from?
My grandfather, then my father, and then myself.
And what was that like for them? How has the climate changed?
Well, back in 1956, we were a General Motors dealer, and really back then you only had General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. So there wasn't a lot of competition. And over the years, you've grown to so many different manufacturers from all over the world. It's quite competitive now.
Yeah, putting you on the spot here.
Yes.
What would be the most important thing you think you learned from either your dad or your grandpa?
My dad always said, if you're lucky enough to have a successful business, you need to give back to your community. And supporting the community has been something that our family, for generations, my grandfather started with Variety Village and was donating back then, and we've just carried it on ever since. And then moving to Orillia, and with this small town, it's been so great, and the support we can give to the hospital and the other charities, and it's such a feel-good situation.
Well, let's talk more about that. We're looking at some video from Hawk Ridge Golf Club, because that's where the sold-out tournament will be on Friday. What can people expect from the day, Rob?
Well, I'm telling you, hopefully we can expect some sunshine.
Yes, I'll talk to Casey about that.
Yeah, we're planning on that. We're going to have a great round of golf. We've got a lot of golfers. We're sold out, thank God, and it's so amazing. We're going to have a charity auction. We're going to have a silent auction, and we're going to have a live auction. It's just going to be so amazing. What a great day, and I just can't believe the sponsors that have stepped forward to support us and support the charities. And like I said, it's just going to be an amazing day, and I can't wait.
Well, and speaking about giving back, we've got a whole list here, folks. So you've got Soldiers Memorial Hospital, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Orillia and District, the Lighthouse, Northumberland of Orillia. How did you whittle it down to this list?
Those are four of the main, I guess you can say they're some of the bigger charities, some of the bigger outfits in Orillia supporting the community. The hospital is number one. We've been supporting them for years, the last 10 years in Orillia. We even have our Subaru Ski Day, which supports the hospital, and we raise money every year for it. And those four charities right now are going to get our support this Friday. Throughout the year, we support everybody. You know, every car we sell, we give money back.
I think that seems like a perfect place to leave it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On the inaugural sold-out tournament.
And I want to thank CTV for all of their support. Thank you.
Of course, it's our pleasure. Let's go ahead and bring up the website, because we actually have a dedicated portion to the Plaza Auto Group Charity Golf Tournament. You can find it at ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Let's take a look at our market, shall we? On this Tuesday night, the TSX was up nearly 244 points. The Dow was up over 160 points, and the Nasdaq was up 171 points. And commodities oil was down $2.65, closing at $82.36 a barrel. Gold was down $3.30, finishing at $46.94 an ounce, and our dollar was down 2.2 cents, 0.2 of a cent, ending the day at 72.26 cents U.S. The Blue Jays will continue their push for a playoff spot when they begin a 3-game series with the Kansas City Royals tonight.
Ball 4, and the Yankees take the lead.
The Jays are coming off an 8-3 loss to the Yankees on Sunday. The team is currently 2 games back of the final playoff spot in the American League. Max Scherzer will start for Toronto tonight against Kansas City. First pitch is set for 7:07 p.m. at the Rogers Center. Still to come, combining art and professional athletes, and not just any pro. One of the Jays' top guys will share how he's being artistically honored next. Time now to take a look at your Tuesday night primetime lineup. MasterChef Canada starts at 8 o'clock, followed by Sherlock and Daughter at 9 p.m., Criminal Minds at 10, and CTV News Barrie at 11. Toronto Blue Jays ace Dylan Cease is bringing new meaning to the phrase painting the corners. The Art Gallery of Ontario has created a limited edition collection featuring artwork by the pitcher. CTV's Sean Leathong brings us that story.
The 1-2 from Cease. He got it.
He's second in the major leagues in strikeouts, and now Dylan Cease leads all of baseball in another category. Works of art hanging in a major gallery with his original painting titled Eve of Toronto at the Art Gallery of Ontario.
It's pretty mind-blowing, you know, to come up and see the line and just see, you know, the press, and it just feels very big.
This morning, fans were lined up around the block and through the front doors for a chance to meet the Blue Jays All-Star and see his work up close.
Dylan Cease, I was shocked. He's an incredible artist.
I've been a member for years, and when I heard that they were collaborating with Dylan Cease, I'm like, I have to get the shirt.
There are T-shirts, prints, and tote bags for sale, all the proceeds going to the AGO charitable mission, a collaboration that came about after staff spotted Cease inside the gallery on his off day.
Our social media manager guided him into our Renaissance gallery, which is full of guys with moustaches. So we got this perfect photo of Dylan between 2 15th century masterpieces all showing off their moustaches. And Dylan was more than happy to talk to us about his artwork. The story continued, the conversations continued, and here we are.
Cease began painting his own originals back in 2022 as he uses art as a way of separating himself from baseball.
I think it helps me balance my life and balance myself in a lot of ways, and ultimately I just really enjoy doing it.
Cease crafted Eve of Toronto during spring training this past February. He says the acrylic on canvas represents the anticipation of coming to his new team after signing with Toronto as a free agent.
I like seeing opinions on it. Like, you don't have to like it. I like people. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's interesting just seeing the mixed receptions.
On this day, the reception was overwhelmingly positive, with Cease taking the time to talk with some young summer campers and meet with fans who connect with his multifaceted personality.
A lot of times there's people think that you can't do sports and something like art or music or something like that. So it's also big to the fans that are not only baseball fans but culture fans and people that love the art gallery.
It feels good to give back, and it feels good to be a part of the community, and I hope this is just one little step towards being part of the culture, really.
And while most people who see Cease's work up close end up walking back to the dugout, here they get to connect with a sports hero in a unique way. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Okay, Case, that is very cool. But I do think we need to find a gallery in either Simcoe County or Muskoka to display your work, because not enough people know how talented of an artist you are. Truly.
Oh, stop.
That's true.
Let's just talk
Folks,
about the
it's
get
true.
up and go. Let's talk get up and go. And here we go. It's Mother Nature's artwork, shall we say. First thing tomorrow morning, sun and cloud right across the board, 13, 14, and 12 degrees in Barrie, Newmarket, and Gravenhurst. Have yourself a fantastic day, Sarah.
They'd be called Casey Kobe or Kobe. We'll work on that before we launch it. I am Sarah Freemark. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us over the 60 minutes. Jack will take care of you tonight at 11. Take care.